Hey, like I said last night, he's our guy. The bullpen guys are our guys.
And the lineup for the Giants today: Pagan, Pence, Posey, Morse, Belt, and Arias, as Pablo Sandoval gets the Sunday day off as a starter. Brandon Hicks moves in at second base for the Giants, and Bruce Bochy, Brandon Crawford, and then Tim Lincecum against the young left-hander, 23-year-old Robbie Erlin. Erlin trying to pick up, follow the lead of Tyson Ross and Eric Stoltz. Two terrific performances by those starters, and he serves up a strike to get us going. Pagan, the top hitter for the Giants, a robust .362. And fouls it out of play. Switch hitter, stronger from the left side.
And the scouting report on young left-hander Robbie Erlin: pitch down early, up late, hopefully chase out of the zone by design, and the good curveball is the key. If ahead, bounce it. Let's see 0-2 right here. He can do so many things. Opens the door, high fastball or bounce a curveball.
Curveball doesn't bounce, bends inside, 1-2. So the Padres have literally shut down the offensive attack of the Giants the first two games. Only 9 hits in 2 games allowed. 2-2, and only 2 walks in the 2 games. In fact, last night the home run by Morse, but the Giants didn't get another runner to second base in the entire game. Out of play.
So this is where a pitcher has no control, right? 0-2, now 2-2, and some foul balls off the bat of Pagan. Robbie Erlin has to stick to his plan, his strength, how he's going to get Pagan out. Maybe a weak fly ball or a grounder.
Padres have done well on Sundays, 3-0 on the young season. And they've also played well on Easter Sunday. Ooh, this is their tight pitch, 3-2. They're 4-1 in the last 5 games played on Easter.
Pretty good pitch.
High fly ball behind second. Glasses down. Amarista wants it. Whoa.
Hey now.
A little adventure on the opening play of the game. 1 away, and here's the Padres defense, brought to you by the Arumco Group. In the outfield, Seth Smith in left, Venable in center, and Xavier Nady will be in right field. Headley, Cabrera, Amarista, and Tommy Medica at first base as you go around the horn, and Nick Hundley behind the plate for Robbie Erlin. Hunter Pence. Ball 1. Pence with that wide spread stance, chokes up on the bat.
Oh yeah, whenever I saw a hitter like this, all geared up, I mean, he's tightly wound, right? Go soft on the guy. Some changeups, maybe a fastball out of the zone. We know that he will chase as Peter Sellers gets ready for the start. Is that to your dog? My dog doesn't bite.
Pink Panther on Easter Bunny Sunday.
Gato.
2 balls and a strike to Pence. Buster Posey on deck. The Giants have fallen into a team slump. 3-1.
One thing that Robbie Erlin likes to do also is bury that fastball down and into the right. He's about knee high.
Pence is 5 for the last 23. And he earns his 10th walk of the season. So Erlin all around the plate, but not getting the call from Mike DeMuro.
Well, Professor, while we've got a minute, let's take a look at the keys of the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County. Continue to pitch your heart out like this pitching staff has done. The rotation and the bullpen, just a great job. Keep the Giant bats quiet. And go for the sweep.
Erlin had walked only 1 man in 10 2/3 on the starts, but he was all around the plate. DeMuro tight strike zone early. Here's Posey. And he drills one to deep left center field. That ball is crushed, and the Giants have a 2-0 lead. Number 4 for Posey. Well, you knew they were going to break out sooner or later. Posey especially was 1 for the last 24. 1 for 24. And he makes some amends there with a long home run.
First pitch, four-seam fastball from Robbie Erlin. Boy, and he goes down and gets it. Look at how close Buster Posey is standing to the plate. In relation to when his foot is down to that chalk line, you talk about coverage, getting that fat part of the bat on the outside part of the plate. Oh, he did it right there on the first pitch.
So the walk to Pence, and he comes around to score on Posey's long homer. Here's Mike Morse. Morris accounted for the only run scored by the Giants last night with a home run. In fact, to this point, the Giants 4 runs in the series, all on home runs. Brandon Belt hit a solo on Friday night. Changeup. 2-0 to Morse. He's 4 for the last 24. Changeup had him out in front.
Well, Buster Posey, great plate coverage. Watch his front foot right here as he strides. Leg kick. Look at that foot is nearly on the chalk line, and then therefore look at where he hits the ball. Outside part of the plate gets extended. Great plate coverage on that outer part of the plate on the four-seam fastball. First pitch, hacking.
Posey now with 4 home runs. The leader, Brandon Belt, for the Giants with a half dozen. Morse, last night in the 5th inning against Eric Stoltz, went to deep right center field into the sandbox. And that was the only run the Giants would score as the Padres prevailed 3-1 to move to the 500 mark at 9-9. That's a good looking pitch again. And the count goes 3-2. He's just not getting the borderline calls at all.
Yeah, and you know, that's the high strike. I can understand more of a high strike not being called than the low strikes. I mean, the low strikes, that's where a pitcher learns to throw. That's where you make your living.
Struck him out anyway. 2 away here in the first inning. And that'll bring up Brandon Belt.
Well, a menacing figure, a big swing, can't come up on the changeup.
He's the one Giant that's had a good series, 3 for 7 with a home run. Belt. Another 300 average in that Giants lineup, even though they're not hitting well for a week. That one looped into foul territory, long run, and it wasn't hit high enough for Headley to get there.
You know, I take that back. I said corrected. I think that was a fastball thrown by Morse. At first, I initially thought it was a changeup, but a fastball. Take a look. They're out of the hand. You can see the rotation and the fingers on top of the baseball. And Morse swing and a miss.
That was in his power zone.
Yes, it was. Let's hang with him.
Breaking ball doesn't snap into the strike zone. Well, it's been a wonderful 10 consecutive games here at home. Detroit, Colorado, Giants. Swing and a miss at the breaking pitch. 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. They split the 4 games with Colorado. Could easily have won all 4 of those games and have taken the 2 thus far from San Francisco. In the process, 9 games, they've allowed only 19 earned runs, and then the 2-run homer today. Up the middle, self-defense. He cradles that one and goes to first baseman Medica for the out. Well hit. Well, the Padres start from behind today. Cabrera, Venable, and Smith. Everett Cabrera leads it off, then Will Venable, Seth Smith, Xavier Nady cleanup. Chase Headley in the 5 spot. Tommy Medica will hit 6th with Nick Hundley 7th. Alexi Amarista bats 8th, and Robbie Erlin. Well, Tim Lincecum must feel relieved because the last 5 games, the Giants starters have received a total of 2 runs. Well, he's got 2 without throwing a pitch today.
And the scouting report on Lincecum, a lot of off-speed pitches, fastball for show. He's going to throw the fastball about 49% of the time.
And he's still a big strikeout pitcher, even in an off season. One of the best in baseball. Last year he went 10 and 14 in a 4.37 ERA. This year, 15 innings pitched, 20 hits allowed, 12 runs, 17 strikeouts in those 15 innings, but only 1 walk. That is unusual for him. You can almost count on 3 or 4 from Lincecum.
A lot of hittable pitches in the strike zone. Hence the more hits than innings pitched.
1-2.
Along with that fastball that he'll throw 49% of the time, he'll throw a slider, a changeup, and a curveball.
He's given up 5 home runs in his 3 games. Ground ball left side. Crawford braces, throws, and can't get him. Throw pulled Belt off the bag. And it's an infield hit for Cabrera. He continues to carry the Padres' best average.
There goes the no-hitter. You know, like Everett Cabrera's been doing so well. You know, that's an elevated pitch, Dick. And one of the things you've talked about many times is how, first of all, he's hitting the ball well where it's pitched, but trying to avoid the fly ball as well, right? I mean, he'll run into one once in a while, but it's a good sign him getting on top of that elevated pitch, hitting it on the ground. You like your chances for an infield knock.
Going the other way, too. Here's Venable at 233, looking for his first home run. Ball gets away from Posey, and on to second, Cabrera. So the Padres, with no one out, have a man in scoring position. Now Lincecum has given up 5 runs in the first inning this year of the 12 he's allowed.
Posey set up away this pitch here. Looks like a very catchable pitch for Buster Posey. I don't think that hit the ground.
Initially ruled a wild pitch. We'll see if there's a scoring change. Fooled on that one, Venable. A changeup.
Let's take a look. Oh, that's got to be a pass ball. That's on the catcher right there. That ball's got to be caught.
Couldn't agree more. And now squaring and taking high, 2-1.
Got to keep an eye also today on Tim Lincecum, the control of the off-speed pitches. Will he be able to throw those for strikes?
Another changeup.
2-1 changeup, pitching backwards. Fastball count, throws an off-speed pitch. That's what pitching backwards is all about.
Venable situational hitting now. Try to get that man at least to third with 1 out. Pops him up. Third baseman Arias, edge of the outfield grass for the first down. And a look at today's Giants defense, brought to you by Honda. It's Morris at left, Calgon in center, Pence in right, Arias, Crawford, Hicks, and Belt on the infield. Posey at catcher position for Lincecum. So unable to get his man over to third, Venable pops out, and here's Seth Smith. 2 for 3 last night. Smith, as was Venable, had a couple of hits last night, a single and a double. Padres waiting to break out. Pitching has been so outstanding. A little more run support would be a wonderful salve for the wounds of the manager. Struggling with every pitch. With the man at second, they don't use the shift on Seth Smith.
Well, Dick got to the park early today. As you take a look at the shift there, playing the pull big time on the right side there with Crawford over near second base. No BP on the field. But I tell you what, it was a line you had to take a number for guys trying to hit in the cage. Getting their work in early today, trying to hone those skills and go to Hacken today against Lincecum.
Smith with good success against Lincecum. 3 home runs, 10 for 35. 1-1. Well, he came out of the University of Washington as a first-round pick, 10th overall. Won back-to-back Cy Youngs, 2008, 2009, 4 times an All-Star. Now 29.
There's that sharp curveball. Nice layoff by Seth Smith.
He bounces more breaking balls than any of the Giants pitchers, earning that pitch the nickname Scuds. He throws a lot of scuds.
Yeah.
Cabrera at second.
That's the big ragu, Dave Righetti, the pitching coach for the Giants.
A little low. And Smith has the count in his favor, 3-1. Xavier Nady on deck. Need to get one of those runs back here in the bottom of the first. Ball 4. You've got to throw a pretty good strike to get the call from DeMuro today.
Yeah, interesting strike zone today, huh? Looks like a 2-seam fastball. Looked like a pretty good pitch, not getting the call.
So Lincecum, who had walked only one man in 17 innings, 15 innings rather, walks his.
Where's that pitch at? That looked like a pretty good pitch, Mark. What are we going to do about that strike zone today?
Anthony Hopkins, right? 2 on with 1 out for Nady. 3 home runs and a double for Nady so far.
Hey, ball should jump a little bit today, right? If you get a hold of one and elevate it, right?
Saw how Posey's ball carried. Fouled away.
Well, I know it's first and second here for the Padres and 1 out, but one thing that you can do against Lincecum, and that's run on them. You allowed 21 of 23 stolen base attempts last year. That's 91%. So that might come into play this afternoon against the right-hander.
2 strikes on Nady. Cabrera at second. Smith the tying run at first here in the first, and time called Posey out to talk with Lincecum. Well, after the game tonight, the Padres will hop on their charter flight to Milwaukee and open a 3-game series there tomorrow night against the Brewers. The best record in all of baseball, Milwaukee. 13 wins, 5 losses. Tomorrow night, Andrew Kashner against Willie Peralta. Peralta's 2-0 for the Brewers. 4:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. All 3 games in Milwaukee will start at 4:30 here on television. Nady settles back in. Runners take their lead. Ooh,
whoa, hey now.
There's a scud.
Yeah.
Good stop by Posey.
Yeah, nothing like a 54-footer on the slider from Lincecum. Out of the hand slider. Buster Posey recognizes it. He came up on it. He got lucky on that one. Did you see him come up? That could have went right through the wickets.
You're right. Oh, he had a good cut at that one. On deck is Chase Headley. Chases, strike 3. 2 away.
Well, it went right back to the slider.
So it's up to Chase Headley.
And out of the hand. See, that's a different look, right? Out of the hand. It looks like it's going to be on the outside corner. Xavier Nady commits. And as a hitter with 2 strikes, that's tough to lay off. It's very tough to lay off.
Headley back in the lineup after 3 games on the bench as a starter, resting that biceps. Last night, had a single in 4 trips. Padres eager for Chase to get started. There's a chance to do some damage. 2 on, 2 out. Slider catches the outside edge. 1-1.
No, Tim Lincecum goes from the extreme first base side of the rubber. And remember, your foot just has to be in contact with the pitcher's plate. Good inside angle to lefties, and kind of a little bit of an angle away to the lefty on the fastball. But he's coming right at that front hip pocket of Chase Headley.
So he'll give up some long balls. Headley's taken him deep 4 times, Smith 3 times. Ground ball to the right side, and the second baseman Hicks there to throw him out. So the Padres get a couple men on, but can't connect with runners in scoring position.
What a great way to come to the ball yard.
Joaquin Arias starts it in the 2nd inning for the Giants. Third baseman, 5 hits and 26 at bats for a 192 mark. Robbie Erlin jumps in front, 2 strikes.
Nice catch by that man right there. Front row on the Toyota Terrace. Coming in hot.
Left field, he didn't get all of that one, and Smith waits for it to come down. 1 away. That'll bring up Brandon Hicks.
Well, sometimes you have to pitch effective away to get inside and be effective. Look at this pitch here. See how it kind of ties him up? Look at the hands of Arias. He cannot get extended. He got it elevated, but he didn't get extended. With a nice easy fly ball to Seth Smith out in left field. It's a good pitch by Robbie Erlin.
Brandon Hicks, a career minor leaguer. He's 28. Minor league contract signed with the Giants in the offseason. Played his college ball at Texas A&M.
Aggies.
90 at bats in the big leagues, hitting just 133. But he's 7 for 28 with the Giants this spring. Has a home run. Brandon Crawford to follow here in the top of the 2nd. That spins in there. 74-mile-an-hour curveball.
Well, that was the curveball, and he throws that the fewest times at 12.3%. The fastball at 61, the slider at 14. Actually, 13. Now you round it up. I learned that in math. And then
line left field foul. That corner of the left field seats gets a lot of action. Nice catch.
See right here, slider 13.9. You have to round that up to 14% because of the 9.
Thank you.
And then the 12.8 is actually
rounded
13% because you have to round it up.
But you don't round the curveball, but you throw it and you hope it goes around.
Correct.
See, folks, and it's all free. You learn all these things. So stay with us.
See what a high school education can get you.
It gets worse. Fooled was Hicks on that one, but it's inside. 3-2.
What a great view from behind home plate, huh?
What a beautiful picture. Downtown San Diego. Really brought alive by the building of this Petco Park. Another foul. The Giants hoping to do better against left-handed pitching this year. Last year they were 24-31 against lefties. That accounts for the acquisition of Mike Morse. And Hicks would fall into that category. It's a minor acquisition. And ball 4. So Erlin's so reliable with his control. Walks few. Has walked 2 in the first 2 innings. The first one cost him. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SDFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown on our telecast. Brought to you by AT&T. We'll show you our fan photo later in the telecast as Brandon Crawford steps up. Erlin had walked only one man in his first 11+ innings. He walked Pence, and Posey made him pay with a home run. As if with the crowd today, this 3-game series is going to surpass 100,000. It'd be the 3rd series already in April. The Tiger series, the Dodger series, Giant series. Back through the middle, and that one's going to squeak through into center field. Running all the way from first is Brandon Hicks. First and third on the single by Crawford. Boy, that was a seeing-eye single.
Most certainly was. Boy, just putting the ball in play. Crawford playing a nice game of pepper on the 4-seam fastball. You know, up into that pitch and the Buster Posey pitch, which was elevated, Robbie Erlin, when he's missing down with the fastball, it's down around the knees or lower, not getting those calls.
And Erlin falling toward third base on his follow through, and the ball was just past his glove. Well, that brings up Lincecum. And not a great hitter, but he'll punch one in there now and then. Possible squeeze situation as well, and Headley comes in at third. That would be the safety squeeze, or just to move the runner from first to second. Give Pagan a chance. His lifetime average only 114. He's had a couple of at-bats, no hits this year. Came up at San Francisco last year. He had a couple of hits against the Padres.
Well, Brandon Hicks at third base getting some instruction from Tim Flannery, the third base coach for the Giants. In the event of that bunt, you know, as a base runner, you can gauge it to where if it's down the first base line, you know, they have to catch the ball, they have to relay the ball to the catcher for the tag. So, yeah, on contact, that's different than the suicide squeeze. On contact, as a runner at third base, you can take off.
Tip, yeah. 1-2 now to Lincecum.
And because it's not a force play, right? The catcher has to apply that tag. It has to be a good feed to the catcher.
Hicks at third, Crawford at first with one out. Again, Lincecum, a long study of Tim Flannery's sign. It's at third with 2 strikes on him, looking hopefully to apply that butcher boy chop. And takes outside. Erlin falls to 3-2 against Lincecum.
Yeah, early on, not the best location, not the best command with the 4-seam fastball for Robbie Erlin. Tim Flannery will flash the signs and then relay that to Brandon Hicks at third base. Tell him what's on.
Ball 4. Bases are loaded. But this isn't the Robbie Erlin that Bud Black sent out to the mound. And Darren Bosley going out to talk with the young 23-year-old from Santa Cruz. He'd walked only one man all season. He's walked 3 in an inning and a third today.
And I know, you know, different umpires have different strike zones, but there's been a handful of pitches already Robbie Erlin has gotten squeezed on. That's where you're taught to throw the baseball. And you know what? Unfortunately, he's just not getting the call.
Yeah, that ball certainly nicked the bottom of the strike zone. But walk to Hicks with one out. Crawford a seeing-eye single, and Lincecum a walk to load him up. And out of the top of the order, Pagan and Pence. Pagan, one of the better hitters with runners in scoring position. 389 is average. 7 for 18 this year. One and one. Hicks, Crawford, Lincecum aboard. 1 out. Bounces that. 2 and 1.
It just seems that Robbie obviously falling behind an early action. Don Roach getting loose. Not a good sign. But Robbie just hasn't been able to put the Giant hitters on the defensive. Doesn't have really the good feel, the good touch for the curveball or the fastball early on.
Well, he could use a ground ball here, turn a double play to get out of this mess. .45 pitches already.
Yeah.
That's it. Line drive, right center field, falls for a hit. That'll score a couple of Giants. Pagan comes through again. It's 3-0 and now 4-0. As Hicks scores and so does Crawford on a single by Pagan. Well, you knew the Giants' order was going to break out sooner or later. They've been ice cold the last 5 games, scoring only 2 runs. They've got 4 already today.
Well, falling behind 2 and 1, and then the pitch prior to that was the curveball, right? Well, Robbie Erlin's going to try to throw a quality fastball. He just didn't hit his spot, and Pagan did a nice job and just sent up the center of the diamond. That's what happens when you fall behind and can't locate the fastball.
So 2 of the 3 men put aboard on walks have come around to score. And back to Pence, who walked and scored in the first inning ahead of Posey's home run. First and second. Still only 1 out. Pops him up on the infield. That's the infield fly rule. And Headley makes the catch. Two away to Posey. If you're just joining us here on Fox Sports San Diego, here's his first at bat. He nails one deep to the bullpen area. That's after Pence had walked. Posey's 4th homer of the year. Got the Giants off to a 2-0 start. They've scored 2 more here in the second on Pagan's bases loaded single. Robbie Erlin trying to get out of the inning at 4-0 down. 0-1. Lincecum still out on the bases at second. Ball 2. An umpire with a tight strike zone. It's kind of like a basketball official that calls a couple of ticky-tack fouls
right.
on, and all of a sudden you change your whole game. You can't play the way you normally do. You're afraid to touch somebody.
Well, the ratio, balls and strikes almost even.
Big grip. 2-1. The Giants scoring only 2 runs in the first 18 innings of the series. It's an angry bunch that came out to the ball yard today. Helped out by the wildness of Erlin. 4 runs on 3 hits. Broken bat looper in the center field. A long run, and Venable able to get there. That ball really carried well for a broken hand, trying to salvage the final game of the series. Medica takes a strike. Tommy at 174 with a home run. Pulls it foul.
Well, this is where the Padres, and they've shown it, this homestand, a key walk here, maybe an extra base hit there, try to inch back, try to get 1 or 2 maybe, put a little pressure on Lincecum, get him into the stretch with runners on base. You can almost guess here it's going to be something off speed off the plate.
And he throws up that scud. Medica didn't bite. 1-2. Tough against the Padres in his career. 13-6 Lincecum, including the no-hitter last year in July. And here at Petco, 7-3 his record. So Padres knew they had a tough hombre out there on the mound. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Lincecum. 91 on the fastball. America's News Sports Network is the place to turn before every slam and every goal and every game, with America's pregame only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Tune in to America's pregame weekdays at 3 o'clock Pacific time, only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your cable satellite provider, go to foxsports1.com. Nick Hundley, he's had home run success against Lincecum. 11 times against San Francisco. He has homered 11 of his career 46 homers. That one looping into right center and falling quickly in front of Pagan for a base hit. Hundley with the Padres' second hit. And that'll bring up Amarista.
One of the few fastballs probably over the heart of the plate that you might get from Tim Lincecum. And Nick does a nice job of fighting it off. Elevated, yes, out of the reach of Pagan, Hicks, Pence. That's what happens when you elevate it. You can dump it out there into the shallow outfield.
Yeah, those flare singles look just as sharp as a line drive in the box score tomorrow. See if the Padres can do something about it as Amarista steps up. He's hitting .265, strike 1. High with the fastball at 91. Now, when Lincecum was winning Cy Young awards in 2008, 2009, that fastball was 95, wasn't it?
You know, we ran across a few pitchers. Remember Tim Hudson? Last night we talked about how the velocity.
Ground ball. Nice stop by Hicks to Crawford. Back to first, a double play. Oh, that was nicely turned. 4-6-3 by the Giants infield, and that's it for the Padres in the second. Nice job by Hicks. Look at how quickly he fields and throws. And then turned by Crawford at second. We go to the third, 4-0 Giants.
This tri-tip we have here in the dinner as well, we're known for, is called the Cardiff Crack, is what everybody names it. I didn't do it, but our neighborhood did. So that's what it's all about. So you can pick up your fresh meals and do your shopping experience at the Petco Park here.
Now, what makes this sandwich so incredible?
You know what? It's a marinade we had about 15 years ago we developed, and ever since then we just became really known for that, and that's our signature item right here. And you can pick it up at the grocery store at either one of the two, section 107, 110, and also 129.
Thank you, Pete. Seaside Market, it's definitely something you want to check out. It's not just ballpark food, it's a complete experience. Dick and Mark?
Yeah, I've talked to some young people who are really diet conscious or vegans, vegetarians. They say, yeah, you can go here and get really some nice food and stay on your own diet regimen. Mike Morse, and then Brandon Belden and Joaquin Arias in the third for the Giants. Morse struck out the first time. Hits this one high in the air to center. Glasses down, Venable. One away. And let's just take a look here at Petco Park, the Seaside Market. Look at this. In a ballpark.
Very nice.
It's like going to your corner grocery.
Yeah. Almost like a farmer's market, right? You go out there and you can see the fresh vegetables and tri-tip. Is that tri-tip?
I think it is. Yeah, that's the sandwich with the secret sauce. Brandon Belt. Looper caught by Cabrera. And Cabrera flipping that ball back behind his back, almost as if he might have aggravated that knee in coming back down there, because that's how he hurt himself a couple of nights ago, remember?
Leaping. His best impression of the FTD florist man, delivering the bouquet of flowers. Coming up with the big catch.
Joaquin Arias flying to left his first at bat. Well, the pattern so far for Robbie Erlin, fly balls. One of them a home run.
See, look right there. He's got a couple of roses and a tulip to deliver, and
watch out! Watch out!
Sunflower. He's delivering it to
Houston Street. He's going to take it out to Houston. Oh, he loves the carnations, Houston. What's the state flower of Texas?
The cactus.
The bluebonnet. Oh, get a little help from the audience.
I'd like to thank Sheila Simpson, our lovely and talented stage manager, coming up with that one.
Line to Headley. So a couple of line drives. Belt and Arias right to Padre gloves. And Erlin will accept it. 1-2. The Padres trailing 4-0. Robbie Erlin leads off this third with Cabrera and Venable to follow. Erlin 0 for 1 and 1 for 17 in his brief major league career with the bat. Took a good cut at that one. Did he go? No appeal. 1-2. It is a pattern, isn't it? Lincecum. He gets ahead of the count. Yeah. You know you're going to get that ball in the dirt.
Absolutely. I will bet you that he won't throw a fastball anywhere near the plate with 2 strikes. He's not going to try to challenge it right down the center of the plate. Good layoff on that
slider.
Yeah.
Outside. 2-2. They can throw pitches. He only went 5 innings his last start, and that was his best. Allowed only 1 run against the Dodgers. And a foul. Full count. Well, Erlin walked Lincecum. Turnabout's fair play. His 40th pitch coming up for Lincecum here, and he's just started the 3rd inning. Might get the fastball now. He does, and hits it high in the air to center. Pagan backpedals and waits. 1 away. Well, folks, why don't you come out to Petco when the Padres come back from the road trip? 2 weekends from now, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Saturday, May 3rd, a 5:40 game. All fans will receive a free Padres beach blanket, a very popular item through the years, presented by Jerome's Furniture, supported by 101 KGB. Get your tickets at Padres.com. Boy, that's good size, soft
Pay
quality.
no attention to that man behind the curtain. You know, remember I showed you how to fold up.
Yes, Wizard.
I showed you how to fold up shirts. You know how to fold up towels? That's how you fold them up.
Into the laundry.
That's right.
Hey, that's
really a good quality. That's a good quality item, by the way.
Good size. That's not next Saturday. Padres will be in Washington, but 2 weeks Saturday, May 3rd.
Always great items.
That's a Saturday night, baseball night in San Diego against Arizona. They're playing the Dodgers today. Ground ball by Cabrera at Hicks for the second out.
I remember folding towels in spring training. I'd be in spring training, and my family would be out there, right? My wife, and so I got all the time in the world on my hands, right? So I would stick around with the clubhouse guys after, and go to the laundry room and just shoot the breeze with them and fold towels and go put uniforms in lockers and just help them out a little bit. It's fun hanging with the guys. Those guys bust their tails
they
down
sure
there.
do. Venable popped up the first time. That'd be a terrific feature for Kate Osborne's half-hour show.
POV.
By the way, I really enjoyed the interview with the chap that caught the first home run hit at Petco, Mark Loretta. That was a nice item. Anyway, to go down in the laundry room, how in the world these sparkling white uniforms, they get full of dirt and grass, and then the next day they come out and they're all shining white again. How do they do that?
Bet you there's a lot of moms and dads out there thinking, how come my son's Little League uniform pants can't get that white? Well, Brian Perlman, Tony Patrica, Spencer Dolan, James Bigler, Tree, all working hard down there.
Yeah, they do. 3-1 now to Venable.
Getting those stains out.
I asked Spencer Dallin about that, and he said it's actually, we do have a secret formula. I said, come on, you could share that. We have a nice feature. Ground ball left side and through for a base hit for Venable.
Well, they played him to pull there. He beats the shift. Brandon Crawford playing over towards second base, taking away that single up the middle. And hey, there's a fastball that's up out of the zone. I think Tim Lincecum maybe wanted to go a little higher, and he beats it.
A 2-out single for Venable, the Padres' third hit. All singles, Hundley and Cabrera with the other two. Seth Smith walked his first time. Skips that one in. A nice stop by Posey. Well, even though the Padres trail by 4, it's early enough in the game that Venable still is a threat to steal.
Outfield pretty straight away.
Runner goes, ground ball through into right field. Venable keeps right on going to third on a single by Smith. So the Padres have a chance here to cut in to that 4-0 lead.
Well, Lincecum falling behind 1-0. And with the 4-run lead, he doesn't want to give any free passes, right? So Bud Black puts the runner in motion. A good pitch to Hackett right down the middle. Well, first and third action with 2 outs.
I told you that in only 15 innings coming into this game, Lincecum had offered 5 homers. Well, wouldn't this be a sweet time for the Padres? Nady up with 2 men on. He's got 3 home runs. Up high, ball 1. Starts him with a fastball out of the zone.
Well, a lot of pitches up in the zone.
2-0. Well-traveled Nady. Spent a brief time with the Giants in their World Series year a couple seasons ago. Ball 3. Okay, you're Bud Black. 3-0. 2 men on, 2 outs. You're down by 4.
Hey, if you get a fat one, why not, huh?
Green him. Green light. Veteran hitter, if it's not his pitch, can lay off. High, a 4-pitch walk. The bases are loaded. The tying run comes to the plate here in the third. Chase Headley.
Just takes one mistake, Dick, right? Posey out to have a chat with Lincecum. Now the pressure's on number 55.
Padre over every pillow now. With 2 outs, a Venable single. Smith a base hit to right. Venable to third. Now Nady walks to load him up. And the next pitch from Lincecum will match his number.
Hey, and the workload is going up too. Big first inning, quick second inning. Here in the third. They got him working. Outfield playing straight away against Chase Headley. Right up the gut in center field is Angel Pagan.
Second baseman Hicks out on the outfield grass, very deep at second. And ball 1. And the 55th pitch.
Yep.
For Lincecum, and he's not yet out of this third, and the Padres want to keep it going.
A couple of jackets coming off in that Giants bullpen as ball 1 is tossed to Chase Headley.
Headley has 4 homers in his career against Lincecum. 12 for 44 overall, 4 of them home runs. Strike. Fastball at the knees.
Well, market situations like this, the Padres need to capitalize on.
They do. They got to come up with big hits, and they have been this homestand, but this is a huge situation in this game.
Outside, 2-1. Oh, this is the action pitch coming up. 2-1. Lincecum doesn't want to go 3-1, and Headley sitting on a pitch that might be to his liking. 2 outs, all 3 runners ready to roll. 3-1.
Hey, remember, that's the pitch that Mike DeMuro, the home plate umpire, wasn't given to Robbie Erlin either, right?
Now the fans trying to encourage Headley to tie into one. Line drive, fair ball into the right field corner. Venable scores. Here comes Smith. They're waving home Nady, and he is in there. And on to third goes Headley. It's 4-3. Chase Headley cleans them up with a triple.
Well, let's go back to the first pitch. All the pressure's on Lincecum. Ball 1 on the breaky ball. He paints with the fastball, 1-1. Missing away. Chase Headley being very, very patient, waiting for his pitch. He gets the pitch inside corner, pulls it fair. That's some good hitting right there by Chase Headley. Everybody's off and running with 2 outs.
I believe Bruce Bochy is going to challenge the play at the plate. Wants it to be replayed because the umpire is leaving the field. We'll see whether or not the replay officials back in New York will determine if it's a Padre run or the final out of the inning. It's a big call.
Well, look at the positioning of Mike DeMuro. He's behind, right? He kind of gets screened. He may have gotten him on the back number, but see where Mike DeMuro is? See, he's kind of screened. He can't really see if he gets the tag on the back or not, right?
And by the time he tags him,
see what I'm saying?
Is Smith or Nady rather over home plate? Yeah, he got him in the back, but when did he get him? Where was Nady's feet when he makes the tag? This
kind of tough there because X is screening his hand as he touches home plate, right? On that last one.
Is there enough evidence there to overturn the call on the field? And obviously they're studying all the replays back in New York. It's not an easy call. If it stands, it's 4-3, and the Padres will have the tying run at third for Tommy Medica. If they overturn it, and they do. So the challenge works for Bruce Bochy. The gamble and sending Nady, and he just is tagged out. And instead of 4-3, it's 4-2, but the Padres have cut that deficit in half, and that brings a lot of encouragement to this big crowd at Petco Park. And it's a 4-2 lead for the Giants as we go to another line drive to Headley. Brandon Hicks. Headley has made a couple of catches of balls, not really scorched, but hit well enough to be base hits. So one out to Brandon Crawford. He singled in the second inning.
Boy, going back to that Padre half of the inning, nice at bat by Chase Headley. Just his body language as well. Just his body language, Mark Sweeney, told me that, all the pressure was on Lincecum. He was calm, he was cool. He got his pitch, and he took a hack at it.
Mark, I think it has a lot to do with this, the comfort level and getting a base of at-bats against a certain pitcher. And earlier in his career, it was a different Lincecum with a plus fastball, a lot of velocity, but you could see that comfort level, like you talked about, by Chase Headley, especially in the batter's box. That was good to see.
Yeah, he needed that. The Padres needed that as well.
And to get 2 runs after 2 were out. That's going to be a tough play. Chopped off home plate. Who's covering? Erlin gets there in time. Just ahead of Brandon Crawford. Boy, you could see Erlin put it into high gear to angle over to first base. And he had to hurry.
Yeah, the practice field's over in Peoria. Hey, field 2 pitchers, PFPs, pitchers fielding practice. And Robbie Erlin is great. The nice feed. Catch the ball, find the bag, peel off into fair territory so you don't get run up the back end there.
That's 7 in a row retired by Erlin since the bases loaded single by Pagan that made it 4-0 in the second. There's a strike.
And if I'm pitching right now, I'm Lincecum rather. I'm taking the 2 strikes. It's been a quick inning so far. 2 quick outs.
Weak wave there. 0-2.
Boy, how sweet would this be, Robbie Erlin? Very quick inning here to get right back in that dugout and create that momentum again.
If you're scoring a double for Headley, 2-run double. He knocks in his 5th and 6th runs of the season. 1-2. Lincecum walked in the second inning. Not this time. He takes strike 3. Second strikeout for Robbie Erlin. He retires. And their DI's with us up there in right field. Great to have him aboard. We're having a good time. Well, the Padres from 4-0 down carve into the lead 4-2. Now it's Medica, Hundley, and Amarista against Tim Lincecum. Already over the 60 pitch mark. Medica struck out swinging the first time.
Mark and Dick, we've seen Tommy Medica in a base of at-bats now. Now it's the adjustment phase. He has to try to shut down his swing, shorten his swing just a little bit. He still has that power. Sometimes you got to back off a little bit and let the game come to you a little bit. We always talk about slowing the game down. That's what Tommy has to do right now.
And in this situation, Mark, 1-2, Lincecum just bounced one. You almost have to anticipate another one bounced, huh?
Yeah, struck him out.
It's unfortunate because they're realizing now they don't have to throw Tommy Medica a strike.
Right.
That appearance of a strike and getting out of the zone. And as you know, as a pitcher, if you have that in your back pocket, that's something they're going to exploit up at this level.
Now, he's got a big swing, Mark Sweeney, and how do you cut that down and still be yourself and have the power?
Yeah, Dick, you don't want to take the aggressiveness away because that's what Tommy Medica is here for. That's the reason why he's here. But you have to make some adjustments. Try to slow it down and try to use the big part of the field. Use those doubles and shoot the gaps rather than trying to hit the home runs.
Nick Hundley wedged a single into right center field his first time.
And if Lincecum, guys, he gets the feel for that curveball, and that's what makes him so effective. Curveball, strike 1 here to Nick Hundley. He can get nasty.
Strike 2.
Yeah, Mark, as you know, the MO for Tim Lincecum, strike 1 and then try to get out of the strike zone, see if he can get those hitters out of the strike zone. He's going to be very successful if that happens all day.
He is such a different pitcher if he gets strike 1, like a lot of other pitchers.
Did he go? No, says first base umpire Hunter Wintelstadt.
I can tell you right now he went.
Yeah.
Oh, Professor.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, looking at it objectively, I know he's our guy, right, Nick Hundley, but I think he went on that.
I think the umpires are more liberal this year. It doesn't matter. Down he goes swinging. A couple of strikeouts. Medica and Hundley victimized by Tim Lincecum here in the 4th. And time now for our Sequan Casino Vacation stat of the game. How about this? Since 2008, Lincecum more strikeouts than anyone in baseball. Well, tied with Justin Verlander. Isn't that something?
Wow.
They're tied?
Yeah.
1,377 strikeouts apiece. Felix Hernandez, Sabathia, Cliff Lee on the list. Amarista runs up and takes ball 1. Bounced into a 4-6-3 double play the first time. That statistic of Verlander and Lincecum being tied after 7 seasons of pitching. Did you see the Miguel Cabrera, Henry Aaron stat in the paper?
I did, and that was unbelievable. What was it, home runs, RBIs, and
average, I think.
Average?
Exactly the same for all three at the same age.
At their 31st birthday, the numbers were identical.
Unbelievable.
I had to read it twice to make sure I was reading it correctly.
You know what that is? That's baseball. 3-1 to Amarista, trying to get aboard here with 2 outs in the 4th. Padres did their damage with 2 outs in the last inning, and a walk to Amarista. That's the 3rd by Lincecum.
Hey, get ready. It's coming. First of 3 Padres Beer Fest Friday. May 2nd, when your Padres start a 3-game series against the Diamondbacks. First pitch is at 7:10, but the first pour is at 5 o'clock. Don't wait. Get your ticket. You'll get 4 Friar Funds plus a Beer Fest t-shirt, all for as low as $40. Go to Padres.com/beerfest today. Cocktails.
Erlin checks a swing. Strike 1. Well, after the Padres are on the road for 10, to Milwaukee 3, Washington 4, and San Francisco 3, they come home on Friday, May the 2nd. It's Arizona 3, Kansas City 3, and Miami for 4. Bouncer up the middle. Crawford will flip to second to Hicks, and Erlin is out. 4 in the books. 4-2 the score. Pagan leads off the top of the 5th. His 2-run single with the bases loaded in the 2nd, the difference in the game. Nourishment there for Lincecum.
I don't know why I'm just laughing. It's just
line foul. That's down into that left field corner again. Oh, if you're ever going to bring a glove to the ballpark, if you've got those seats,
yeah,
you better pack some leather.
And watch your chiclets.
Yeah, no kidding. Watch the soup coolers. You got to be heads up. Yeah, give it to a kid. There you go. Oh, that a boy, Engelbert.
Pagan backed away from that, but it wasn't that far inside. Shortstop Cabrera has to backhand it and throws him out. That's 9 in a row retired by Erlin. Well, here's a look ahead. 3-game series tomorrow night. It begins in Milwaukee. Ron Renneke, a former coach with Bud Black with the 2002 Angels as they won the World Series. They have the best record in baseball, 13 wins. No one can match that at this point. And look at the pitching, 2.82. 4th best in the big leagues. Braun is back hitting 5 home runs, and Gomez, the who's just involved in that embroglio.
Yeah.
He has 5 home runs.
Yeah, and as a club collectively, the Brewers are hitting at a .261 clip. That's third in the National League.
Hunter Pence, 2 strikes on him. He's walked and scored. Scored when Posey homered in the first inning with him aboard and fouled out.
Well, Robbie Erlin in the first pitch strike category, 17 for 20.
And yet he is uncharacteristically walked 3 men, and 2 of them have come around to score.
That's why I think that stat's a little overrated, quite frankly.
What, first pitch strikes?
What does Mark Sweeney think?
Overrated.
Yeah, and it's a legitimate discussion, right? I mean, that's why I think ball strike ratio overrated. I've seen many times when a guy will throw 100 pitches, 50-50, and he's throwing a shutout.
Yet you hear pitching coaches preach it all the time. First pitch strikes. Get ahead on the count. 2-2 to Pence. Almost looked like Pence on that pitch was going to throw his shoulder out there and take a hit batsman. 3-2.
You know, Mark, on that same subject, if you think about it, the hitter's perspective is try to be aggressive early in the count on a strike. And if you're not doing that, then you've got to try to get into those hitters' counts to benefit those mistakes that those pitchers make.
Line to left field, charging is Smith, and he makes the catch. Did not hesitate at all. Crack of the bat, Smith rushed toward home plate and able to take a base hit away from Hunter Pence. Good play.
Hey, Mark Sweeney, you played the outfield. This is one of those do or die plays.
Yeah, do or die, because you're committed, Mark,
Yep.
first and foremost, and then you have to get your body in position to try to keep it in front of you. But an outstanding play by Seth Smith across his body, and very difficult because that ball is coming and it's going downward, almost like a sinker by a pitcher. But great play by Seth Smith.
And if that gets by him, Venable's a long way away in center field. So thanks to some fine defense, 10 straight retired by Erlin. Posey, 2-run homer and a fly ball to center.
You know, there comes a point of no return. I'm going Kansas on you, Sweeney.
Okay, Toto.
No, there comes a point of no return, right? Where you commit, you have to. You can't go in between. That ball skips by you.
You do. Every outfielder's always going to say that first step really indicates what you can do. And his first step was the right one, correct one, and he had to be aggressive.
Swing and a miss.
It's easier to make that play in left field because you understand if you're playing in right field and that goes by you, it's a triple.
Yep.
But you go in left field, you have trust in your center fielder to back you up, and hopefully at worst it's a double.
2-1 to Posey. 3 balls and a strike. Able to be selective here, Posey. Pulls it foul.
There's a changeup, Dick. I was just going to mention, really haven't seen a lot of changeups this afternoon from Robbie Erlin. 3-1 fastball count. That's the perfect situation to try to throw it.
Slow curve, fly ball to right. Toward the line goes Nady and makes the catch in fair territory. Oh, 3 consecutive innings.
On Fox Sports San Diego, you're not going to want to miss that SD Live.
All right. Thank you, Kate. Bottom of the 5th. Everett Cabrera, top of the order, then Venable and Smith. Padres need a couple to tie Tim Lincecum. They've had a base runner every inning. 5 hits and 3 walks. Changeup.
Yep.
It's been a good pitch for him.
He gets the feel for the curve of the changeup. Can be difficult.
Cabrera with a single and a triple last night. He had his 9-game hitting streak snapped the night before. Infield hit and a ground out today.
Well, good luck to those young men, huh? Up there and enjoying a big league ball game.
That's an All-America team. Yeah, he must lead the league in balls bounced.
Yeah. Mark Sweeney, did you ever face Tim Lincecum?
We've lost Mark.
All right. No, Mark's not hooked up yet.
Up the middle, and that's going to shoot through to center field for a base hit. Leadoff man is aboard as Cabrera has his second knock. Will Venable singled with 2 outs in the third. Smith followed with a single. Nady walked to load the bases, and Chase Headley rattled a double into the right field corner to knock in 2. Nady thrown out at home plate, trying to make it 4-3. That was the play that was reviewed on the challenge by Bruce Bochy. So Bochy still has a challenge since he was correct.
Mark Sweeney, I wanted to ask you, have you ever faced Tim Lincecum in your playing days?
I did, and I faced him with that high velocity fastball that he could pitch up at your letters and then also have that changeup split combination. But yes, I was a teammate of his when he came on. Outstanding start, but not a good time to face him.
What were the results?
Not good, probably. I don't know. I have
we
to
can
go
look
back
that up.
to it. Yeah, please look it up. But I'm saying I was on the short end.
Okay.
Venables worked the count to 2-1. Cabrera, that knee is still sore, so we've not seen Everett Cabrera run like he has the last couple of years, leading the league in steals a couple of years ago. Would have led again last year, but suspension.
You know, this Cabrera, when he's diving back to first base, dive towards the outfield part of the bag, right? It's a longer swipe tag for the first baseman. Might not seem like a lot, but hey, the bang bang plays. A couple of inches here or there, right?
Absolutely. He has 2 steals this year. He bluffs going and a ball in the dirt, and Posey finally located it. Skidded behind him between Posey and the umpire, DeMuro.
Tough read for Everett Cabrera, but you almost have to anticipate that. He's been throwing some balls in the dirt, especially that split finger. You have to try to anticipate that, look for that extra base.
Two and one to Venable. Cabrera goes. Swung on and missed. Posey's throw is on the money, and Cabrera is out. Posey with a quick feed. Of course, he was an infielder, high school and college at Florida State. Look how quickly he releases.
Straight up to the ear. Snap throw. Very close, huh?
It was close. The ball beat him, but I'm not sure that he got the tag on before Cabrera got his hand on the bag. No challenge by Bud Black. Let's check it again. Yeah, you got to call him out.
Yeah.
Now the count full to Venable. Swing and a miss. Got him with the change.
Boy, the bottom just dropping right out of that pitch. Great arm action from Lincecum. Hey, separated at birth. Inspector Clouseau on the right. Peter Sellers and Tim Lincecum. He's let that mustache grow in a little bit since that picture was taken. He's got a good one working.
I'll be the judge of that. He looks like the villains in the old black and white movies, doesn't he? That
it almost looks
pencil
fake.
thin.
Yeah.
Smith with a high fly to left field, plenty of room, and Morse makes the catch for the out. 5 complete. It's still 4-2 for the Baysiders last night. Ball 1. So Erlin, after giving up 2 runs on the Posey home run in the first, walked a couple in the second around a single by Crawford and then the 2-run single Pagan. Since then, He's held the Giants in check. 11 straight retired. Line foul. There it is. Down. That's the foul ball corner.
Yeah. Well, Morse was quick to that one on the inside part of the plate. That customer's going home happy, but Morse likes to get extended. He was quick on that fastball in. How about a changeup away right here? How about a Fresca? Oh, I tried to go up the ladder.
Fastball at 90. Runs the count to 2-2.
See if he sets up that curveball with that high fastball right there.
Heater away possibly here. Yeah, Mark, we saw a number 1 and then point away from Nick Hundley on that one. 3-2. Let's see what Nick puts down here. Fastball in.
That was right into the letters, but in the heart of the plate. Is it an optical illusion, or does Morse use a longer bat than most men? Pops him up. High in the air on the left side. Headley wants it. One away. Well, promised you earlier, and here it is. We have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag SD fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Man Tim catching the AT&T ball.
Oh, that's a great shot. That's very, that's creative.
There you go.
Took me a while to think of creative, but once again, that high school education coming through. Not like that University of Maine education or that University of Indiana
exactly
or Central
right.
Michigan education gets you.
Fighting Black Bears.
Yeah. The Harvard of the Northeast. 0-1 to Belt.
I think Robbie Erlin has really showed us something today, guys. I mean, bouncing back after giving 2 and 2, throwing up 3 bagels there in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. How many times have we seen pitchers out there just kind of cave, you know? I'm not talking about this staff, but in the past, in other teams, they just don't want to, make an adjustment. But Robbie Erlin, he has battled.
Could be his last inning. That pitch count arriving at 100. Ground ball right at Medica, knocks it down, has time to make the play himself. 13 in a row.
Nicely done. And perfectly positioned was Tommy Medica at first base on that one.
Don Roach continues to throw. Alex Torres as well now in the Padre pen.
Mark Sweeney, Tommy Medica not getting a lot of time at first base, but the main thing here, down on one knee, keeps the ball in front of you. Almost like Walter Matthau in Bad News Bears when he was teaching the kids, get down on that one knee. Bounces in front of you, just keep it in front of you.
You have time at first base, but yes, that's it. Taking ground balls off of fungo necessarily isn't the same from balls off the bat, but nice job by Tommy Medica. Nothing wrong with that. You got time over at first base.
Joaquin Arias is flying to left and line to third.
Hey, I remember J.T. Snow, one of the better first basemen that I ever saw. He told me that his dad used to hit him a bucket of balls. Okay, you're going to get 50 baseballs hit at you. If one gets by you, we're starting all over again. I don't care if it bounces off of you and stays in front of you, but if it gets by you, we're starting all over again.
I don't think he started over again too many times the way he used the glove.
Exactly.
He was impressive.
Strike 3 called as Erlin completes another 3-up, 3-down inning and has retired 14 in a row. 4-2, the Giants lead it. Padres have had a base runner every inning. Total of 6 hits and 3 walks from Lincecum. Line to left field, but Blanco just into the game makes the catch on the warning pad. Chase Headley, last time up with the bases loaded, doubled into the corner. Mark Swinney, go through that swing.
Yeah, Dick, you look at the pitch previous, the 2-1 pitch, and this is the pitch that really swung the at-bat. Bruce Bochy wanted it, Buster Posey wanted it, so did Tim. 3-1 count, you're in a hitter's count, and then you can fire. You get a mistake. Nice hitting by Chase Headley. He is comfortable against Tim Lincecum, seeing the ball out of his hands.
Takes ball 1. Well, Nady hit it right on the sweet spot, but that laser right to Blanco was playing deep and left. 2-0. Lincecum reaches the 90 pitch mark.
No, Willie Blair talking to Alex Torres, the left-hander for the Padres, and Willie Blair going over the lineup. Pitcher spot coming up third next half for the Giants.
Giants have Hicks, Crawford, and Lincecum scheduled in the 7th.
And one left, Blanco's in the game, as Dick mentioned, in left field, so scratch him off of your scoring. And the 3 switch hitters: Sanchez, Sandoval, Adrianza on the Giant bench. All switch hitters.
And Pagan in the game, a switch hitter. Inside. Full count to Headley. Foul ball. Lincecum, this is his 4th start. His first against Arizona at Chase Field, went 6 innings, allowed 8 hits and 4 runs. Then he saw Arizona again in San Francisco, managed only 4 innings, gave up 7 runs and 7 hits. His last outing was his best, 5 innings against the Dodgers, 1 run, 5 hits. 98 pitches, the most this year. Strike 3 called. Headley caught looking. Tough pitch right on the edge, says Mike DeMuro.
Well, it looked like a backdoor off-speed pitch right there to Chase. Righty on lefty.
Now that's the pitch that he wasn't giving Robbie Erlin early.
Yeah. Oh, it's a changeup. It's a changeup down and away.
Sure doesn't look like a strike, does it?
No.
So you can understand Headley, the silent argument. Here's Medica, struck out both times. Two and 0. Fastball tees inside. Almost uses the fastball as a setup, doesn't it?
That's always a good conversation, learning conversation for all the pitchers, for Darren Balsley and his staff. Going over the outing, certain at-bats, maybe mechanics. But he battled back, didn't he?
Sure did.
Man. Didn't let it get out of hand.
Didn't allow a base runner since the bases loaded single by Pagan with 1 out in the 2nd inning. 14 straight outs. 3 balls and a strike. And the next pitch will be 100 from Lincecum.
And judging by the pitches he's thrown, Mark Swinney, what do you think? You think an off-speed pitch here, 3-1?
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to do that or climb that ladder. It looks like Buster Posey wanted that ball up, which Tells me there's a lot of things he can do.
Look at that. He pulls the string. A slider, 3-1.
80 miles an hour.
Well, he's good for 148 pitches.
We know that, don't we?
Lincecum last year in the no-hitter, 148, and there's the slider working around it. Good location. And Tommy Medica out in front of it, hitting the top half of that one.
It's the 9-3 ball count for Lincecum. Strike 3 called. Oh, that was way too good a pitch. Right at the top of the strike zone, middle of the plate. 7 strikeouts for Lincecum. A couple of walks and a single. Loaded the bases, and Pagan knocked in 2 to make it 4-0. And the Padres got 2 back on Headley's double as Alex Torres comes in, top of the 7th.
And our pitching change brought to you by Drew Ford. Alex Torres, 8 games, a nice ERA of 1.50. Opponent's batting average a little high, but you know it's still kind of early in the season. And we take a look at Robbie Erlin's line. He battled. He kept him close. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Hey, that's not a bad job by Robbie Erlin.
It's a pitcher that has such good control. It was the walks that was his downfall, because he walked 3 men and 2 of them scored.
Yep.
Brandon Hicks, the first man to face Alex Torres. Lincecum due third. We'll see whether or not Bruce Bochy uses a pinch hitter. Lincecum has hit the 100 pitch mark. Hicks walked and scored in the second. Line to third. Pop up behind second. Right fielder Nady comes in to call off second baseman Marista for the out.
Well, we're in the top of the 7th here, game 3 of the series, and we're going to take a look back at the keys of the game brought to you by the Honda dealers of San Diego County. Continue to pitch your heart out. Well, Robbie Erlin did that. He gave up 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and he settled down, pitched quite nicely. Keep giant bats quiet. Well, the one giant bat that kind of woke up was the 2-run shot off the bat of Buster Posey in the first, putting 2 up in that first inning for the Giants. And 2 more in the second. Here's Torres. He delivers, and it's a ball outside. 1-0.
I know who it is, Ernie Harwell. John Miller is with us here. Smooth.
He's got good pipes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Here's the 1-0. And fastball outside corner for a strike. Giants 4, Padres 2.
And when he was a young pup at Baltimore and I first met him, I said, "Do you have an agent?" He said, "Well, yeah, I don't know. What do you want one of those for?" I said, "You should be doing commercials with that voice."
He's good. Jeremy Affeldt up for the Giants, the left-hander.
Torres working to the left-handed hitter Crawford, who singled in that 2-run second inning, grounded out to first the last time. Pulled the string on that one, Torres, and fooled Crawford.
You know, there was a mechanical issue for Alex Torres. Darren Balsey was talking about it. Sometimes he said his upper body would leak a little early out in front before his foot gets down, and that would mess up his release point. When he is on with that, the numbers prove it too, Dick, right? The last couple of years for Alex Torres, outstanding numbers for the left-hander. And he wants the ball. Darren Balsey says he wants to get out there and pitch. Watch the leg kick. Sometimes his upper body has a tendency to get out there a little bit too quickly before his foot hits the ground. He's got some good arm speed as well.
He really does.
Like a whip. And there he is right there, best pitching coach in Major League Baseball. Darren Balsley. Here comes fastball in.
Full count now to Crawford. Lincecum is in the on-deck circle. So apparently he's convinced Bochy that he's got another inning in him.
Either that, or if Crawford gets on, maybe have him bunt him over, right? And then
And Crawford is on with a walk.
See if Lincecum bunts him over. And then
they take him out. Don't waste a pinch hitter. It's a sacrifice. Lincecum has walked. That was a key walk back in the second inning. And Erlin just missed on a couple of pitches. And the walk loaded the bases, and then Pagan followed with a 2-run single. And that's the difference in the game, 4-2. Ball one. Six innings for Torres so far, 5 walks. He showed wildness in the spring as well. Two and 0.
Time to have a chat with Nick Hundley. Hey, he's sacrificing early. He's giving himself up. Got to fire a strike right here. Hopefully it's bunted quickly or hard at one of the infielders so they get the lead runner there. Sharply, that's the word I was looking for. Bunted sharply to one of the Padre defenders.
Here comes Balsley to talk to him.
And this might be one of those situations when Darren is talking about the mechanics as Bud Black is on the phone to the bullpen looking at all the numbers. Tim Stauffer getting loose. Bud Black said today everybody in the bullpen is good to go on this final game of the series.
.510 left-hander from Venezuela, Torres. Key to the acquisition of Torres from Tampa was the fact that he's equally successful left or right-handed hitters. Got to throw strikes.
Well, why this is so important right here to get this, I mean, if he gets this bunt down and get the lead runner, Pagan, who is on deck, the switch hitter, only hit 286, but left-handed 415. So he probably, Buddy would probably keep Torres out there, and then for the righty, Pence hitting second, probably go to Stauffer if it gets to that point. Very key to get Lincecum here. Got to get him.
Two-one pitch from Torres to Lincecum. Squares and bunts it fair. The throw to second for one. Back to first. Double play. Or is he going to call it a foul ball? Now DeMuro says foul ball. Didn't quite get it in time, Hundley. Quick reactions by the Padre catcher to try to turn two.
What a great job by Nick Hundley, right? We've seen that before where, it's bunted, play it. Let the umpire make the call. Nick Hundley quick to the baseball. It's where he touches it now.
It must have been just rolling off the chalk.
And Mike DeMuro put both hands up in the air indicating foul.
Squaring again with 2 strikes on him, but the count runs to 3-2. Crawford with the 1-out walk. Lincecum trying to bunt him over. Torres struggling. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes. Watch out. Boy, that went into the first row behind the Giants dugout.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Mr. Memory at work again. And it was interesting. Bochy sent Crawford on that 3-2 pitch. Let's see if he goes again. No. And line fouled on the left field line, and another in the foul ball corner.
Detroit fans in the Detroit series had trouble catching that baseball down there, and it looks like the Giants fans are having trouble as well.
Well, that's why they sit down there, you know. You got to earn your way into the better box seats.
The bottom line is, though, that a kid got that baseball. They're going home happy.
Yeah.
They need a punch out right here.
3-2 again. Runner goes. And another foul. And that's a pretty tough play, though. That
ball there?
Yeah, that was
lined
that's
in
got to
be caught.
He's got a beer in one hand.
That's got to be caught.
You can't.
I'll tell you what's got to be done. They got to get Lincecum right here. This is a huge at bat.
Strike him out, throw him out if Crawford's going. And he bunts, and it's a good bunt. There's the put out, but that's a good at bat for Lincecum. Got to give him credit. Yep. Fouled off some good pitches. Finally lays down with 2 strikes on him. A perfect bunt. Moves Crawford into scoring position.
And with 2 strikes, the pressure's on. Looks like a 2-seam fastball. Maybe even been a changeup. Anyway, it had that down and in action to the left-handed hitting Lincecum. Perfectly executed.
To the top of the order, and Angel Pagan, big bases loaded single. To drive in 2 in the second. Batting right-handed again. Now the Padres, in winning the first 2 games, 2-1 and 3-1, came up with a late insurance run and played very importantly in those 2 victories. The Giants thinking the same way. 4-2, a tenuous lead, but an insurance run makes it considerably tougher with time running out. Pops him up. Left side of the infield. Headley coming down from third in foul territory. Oh, almost overran it. So that's it. Top of the 7th inning. No runs. They leave a man. Only the 3rd man left on base by the San Francisco Giants today. Stretch half of the 7th inning. And before they the PA announcer.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game here on our Salute to the Military, please stand and welcome back a Navy surgical technologist at Navy Medical Center San Diego, Hospital Corpsman Narissa Holder. Please sing along as she presents God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, our home sweet home.
Every Sunday, hope you'll join us. Tim Lincecum goes out for the 7th inning. Line drive deep into the left field corner, and that ball is gone. Nick Hundley touches them all. 4-3 as Hundley hits his first of the year. Not only his first home run, his first RBI.
That ball got out in a hurry. It's a changeup. It's a hanging changeup. Middle in, down. Nick drops the head. That's on the sweet spot. And that lands in a sweet spot, doesn't it?
And that'll send pitcher Tim Lincecum to a sweet spot on the bench as that one knocks him out of the game. Jeremy Affeldt, the left-hander, will come in from the bullpen. Now the Padres with a bolt from the bat of Nick Hundley to make it 4-3. Bruce Bochy out to make that pitching change. And here we are again.
And then this here, boy, speeding up the bat. And Nick Hundley likes that ball in a little bit. He can turn on it. Laser shot.
You know, Hundley has 47 career home runs, 12 of them against the Giants. That being the 12th. So it's up to the bullpen now for both teams. Lincecum, you can close the book on him. 6 innings, 3 runs, all earned. Gave up 7 hits, walked 3, struck out 7.
Hey, a little late life here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here. Jeremy Affeldt, opponent's only at 167. Got Amarista, the pitcher spot.
And Lincecum giving up his 6th home run in just 4 starts. Fortunately for the Padres, no one aboard to take full advantage. Well, he showed that he can get that breaking ball in the dirt and entice hitters to go after it. 7 strikeouts in all. He got Medica 3 times.
Remember, I mentioned it earlier before the game started. Lincecum thrown about 49% fastballs. The rest of it off-speed stuff. Well, Nick Hundley was all over the off-speed stuff. That was a changeup that he hit out of the ballpark.
There's the final totals on Lincecum as Jeremy Affeldt makes his entrance. The bullpen for the Giants has been .1 Major League best bullpen, 1.88 ERA. You know who's number 2? The team they're playing, the Padres, 2.20. Okay, after the game tonight, on to Milwaukee for 3 night games. All of our telecasts at 4:30 from the Brew Town, and then to Washington for 4, and then cross country to San Francisco for 3. Yeah, it's too bad that the schedule maker didn't look. You know, Milwaukee, there's some other teams around there: Minnesota, Chicago, Cleveland, Kansas City, and Washington, and Philadelphia, New York, and some of those. And then they send you all the way back to San Francisco.
That's what Interleague does, right?
Old retired nomad made that schedule. Well, let's see what the Padres can do against Affeldt, making his 2nd game appearance. He was on the DL for a while. He'll first face Chris Denorfia batting for Amarista. And Jerko has moved into the on-deck circle. Will bat for the pitcher Torres. Ball 1. Denorfia is a pinch hitter in the game last night. Score 2-1. Executed a perfect suicide squeeze to give the Padres a 3-1 lead and the game. That's in there. What's that Affeldt have in his pitching repertoire?
The fastball and then the breaking ball from Jeremy Affeldt. At times he'll drop in an off-speed pitch, change up. Hey, this rabbit wants more runs.
2-1. Jeremy David Affeldt, went to high school in Washington, Colbert, Washington.
And that changeup of his, Dick, is actually a split-fingered fastball to go along with that fastball and curveball from the left side.
Ground ball up the middle, but right at shortstop Crawford, and there's one away. Jerko will be introduced as the pinch hitter for Alex Torres. Disappointing numbers early for Jerko. Only 148 is average. And yet his 8 RBI still lead the club. Slow breaking pitch in there. Hit well to center field, but Pagan positioned in the right spot. Needed only a couple of steps to collect it for the second out. Top of the order, Cabrera. 2 singles and 3 at-bats today.
That's a pretty good view from up there. All around the city, and especially into Petco Park. Yeah, hi.
They have a television there. They know they're on.
How you doing?
Yeah, those apartments and offices are choice, aren't they? Diamond Towers there, able to enjoy a little picnicking. They go for the caviar, you know, and the champagne up there. Yeah. 34-year-old Affeld, been a solid man in the bullpen for the Giants now for his 6th year. That's in there, 0-2. Broke in with Kansas City, 5 years with the Royals, then to Colorado for 3, and then landed in San Francisco. Lifetime ERA of an even 4. Base is empty. 2 outs here in the 7th. 4-3 Giants.
Hey, the rally could start with a walk, right? We've seen that before.
2-2. And with Cabrera, he's been a good 2-strike hitter.
Padres scored their 2 runs with 2 outs in the 3rd.
Fouled out of play.
Hey, Bob Brenly here watching the big league ball game.
Thing. He does look like Brenly, doesn't he? Just skip over here from Arizona or from LA where the D-backs are playing. Brenly, their announcer. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Watch out.
Ooh. The emergency swing, huh?
Yeah, that was very protective. Pitch was outside, but he didn't want to take a chance on taking it. Should Cabrera keep it alive here in the 7th, it'll be Will Venable next. Submit that as a fan photo. AT&T. Smothered toward the mound. Affeld pounces on it and throws him out. Well, the Padres draw within 1. Nick Hundley, a laser liner into the left field seats. His first of the year. Marine recruits saying goodbye to the fans as they file out of their seats in the upper deck. The final chant. Nick Vincent struck out the side in his appearance last night. Very impressively. Posey, Morse, and Sandoval.
He has just been lights out. I mean, what great numbers in the short time this year for Nick Vincent. He's got that little cut fastball. He's got the true slider. He's incorporated a changeup. And we wish the Marine recruits well in the future.
As you always say, we thank you for your service. Hope you had a good time. We'll see you back here at Petco. Godspeed. 2 strikes the count on Pence, then Posey and Morse here in the top of the 8th. 3 tough hitters for Nick Vincent. Struck him out. That's 4 in a row for Vincent. Pence takes the long walk. Here comes Posey.
He just comes right after you. He is not afraid. See how far you can hit it. That ball looked like it had a little two-seam action as Jed Jerko goes in to play second base after pinch hitting there.
Think about the difference in the game right now is the call at home plate. The challenge call and overruled by the people in New York on the slide by Nady on Headley's bases loaded hit. And think about also the pitching by the Padres. 3 hits today. That's the total for the Giants. In 3 games, they have 12 hits. 3 of them home runs, mind you. Belt, Morse, and this man today. That's a big lineup to have only a dozen hits. And now 25 innings. That's in there. 5 pitches, 5 strikes.
Yeah, he is a strike thrower. He just pounds the zone, stays out of the heart of the plate, and dices each corner of that plate to righties and lefties alike.
Since his 2-run home run in the first inning, he's flying twice to the outfield. Posey.
How about a little slider down and away right here from Nick Hundley? 3. Slider.
Ooh, just missed away.
I thought he was going to offer at it.
Yeah, he tempted, but able to check his swing.
Boy, you get him leaning on that outside corner. You throw that two-seamer on the inner part of the plate. But we know that Posey can turn on a fastball. I'm guessing he's going to try to keep the ball. Oh, Nick Hundley's setting up inside.
He hit that one a ton to left field, but it's not going to carry to the track. Off the bat, it looked dangerous, but Seth Smith makes an easy play. Didn't quite get the sweet spot.
Well, the bottom line is that Nick Vincent stayed out of the heart of the plate. That one right there kind of leaks middle in. That one, see, going back and forth, back and forth. There's the high fastball there. The slider that he didn't bite. Now watch how he just buries it inside. Pitch number 5 in off the plate. Little bit of movement. Buster Posey had him leaning out over the plate. Snuck it inside. Couldn't get extended. He snuck it in on him.
Yeah, very good. That's fascinating. Just how moving in and out, picking the corners. So 2 outs to Gregor Blanco hitting now in the cleanup spot. Morse struck out, flied out, and popped up while he was in there. And that ball hit well to right field, and that one is carrying to the wall and caught by Nady. Oh my. Nady, it looked as if he was going to play the carom, and then he said, maybe I can get it, and face plants into the wall and makes a very difficult catch. Oh boy, like he took a left. Pitch the 8th inning. Lopez now the pitcher. Ball 1. He just has been such a steady reliever. Tough left-hander, and again this year 3 innings, no runs. Tough to hit, especially left-handers. Kind of side wheels his delivery.
Got a little deception there. He's not going to really light up the radar guns into the 90s. His fastball is anywhere from 83 to 88. He throws a cut fastball, a changeup, and a slider.
It's in there. 1-2.
There you see the lefties, a tough time at 211. Righties get a better angle and get a better view of that baseball out of the hand. Hit 303 off Lopez. Seems to me a left-handed hitter against Lopez, you really have to concentrate center of the diamond and left field. You try to pull him, it's going to be the old 4-3 play or the grounder to first base.
Trying to get on there, start something here in the 8th. 4-3 Giants. And that's too easy, I felt, with the underhand flip for the out. Seth Smith is the batter. Nady on deck. How he got his glove to the ball and didn't just smash the glasses and his nose in the process.
I don't think he realized that he had that baseball or even had a chance to catch that. Found the glove. Hey, found it's an Easter egg hunt, and he found one.
Yeah,
right in his glove.
Nice white one, little red seams on it. Smith walked, singled, and fly to left. So the attendance today, 25,000 plus for the series, 103,000. So 3 series here in April. Detroit, the Dodgers, and the Giants all attracting over 100,000. Oh, that's great. Great stuff. The fans coming out and enjoying good baseball. And maybe the best ballpark in America. All the extra attractions here. Padres winning 6 of the 9 so far in this homestand to move to the 500 mark. They're only a game behind the Giants and only 2 behind the Dodgers, who are in first place in the West coming in. Trying to rally. Still time. 2-0. 3-0. Houston Street and Tim Stauffer in the bullpen. Down low, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Smith. He's on for the 3rd time today. That brings Bruce Bochy to the top step. He had Lopez in there to face Venable and Smith, the 2 left-handed batters. Now he'll go to the pen for a right-hander.
Santiago Casilla heating up for the Giants.
Chase Headley is the scheduled hitter after Nady. And a look ahead to tomorrow and the rest of the series in Milwaukee. And Andrew Kashner will be on the mound tomorrow night with that 2-1 record and 1.27 ERA against Willie Peralta. Look at his marks, 2-0 and 1.96 his earned run average. So that's a great matchup tomorrow. Hope you'll be with us from Milwaukee, 4:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Tuesday night, Ian Kennedy against Giovanni Gallardo. He's 2-0 with a 1.46 mark. And then Wednesday, 2 more top pitchers. Tyson Ross 2-2 with a 2.13 against Kyle Loesch. 3-1 so far. Oh, his average way up to 2.67. So those are 3 great matchups from Milwaukee. And always fun to see the right-hander from TCU, Andrew Kashner. Nothing short of brilliant his last couple of outings, including that 1-hit shutout complete game against Detroit. And heaven forbid should he get a walk or a base hit to get him on those bases in Milwaukee.
Hey, you know what? Andrew Kashner, the ball has a tendency to fly in that ball yard. Don't put it past him. He might hit one out of that yard, which is Miller Park.
Marines heading back to training, and we'll remind you that Saturday MLB on Fox Sports 1 is back with a doubleheader. Mike Trout and the Angels take on Derek Jeter and the Yankees, and then reigning NL MVP Andrew McCutchen. The Pittsburgh Pirates will square off against Matt Holliday and the Cardinals. The action starts 9:30 out here on the West Coast on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Santiago Casilla inherits Seth Smith at first base with 1 out here in the 8th inning. A one-run game.
Boy, how poetic would it be after Xavier Nady making that catch in the outfield, coming up here with one out and a runner on, making some noise against Santiago Casilla. Casilla, fastball, slider, curveball, mid-90s. Get up to about 96 on that fastball.
10 2/3. He's allowed only 2 runs and 8 hits. Nady has struck out, walked, and he was engaged in the play at home plate, initially called safe on Headley's drive with the bases loaded, and then on the overrule, instant replay, called out. And he's first ball hunting, a high fly ball slicing into shallow right, long run, and it'll fall out of play. Trio of Giants, Pence, Hicks, and Belt, all hustling down there, hoping they had a chance.
But that ball is going to drift that way because when you look at the flags, it's blowing from left to right. So ball hit that high, it's going to eventually reach the stands, especially if it starts on that right field foul line.
Broken bat, ground ball to third. There's one. The throw back to first. A double play. Around the horn it goes. 5-4-3, and so much for the 8th inning, and the Padres inning to go. 4-3. Torres and Vincent. 6th appearance for Tim. How about this way this game has developed? The Giants did all the damage in the first 2 innings. They haven't had a hit since the bases loaded single by Pagan with 1 out way back in the 2nd inning.
And that's a good sign. It's Robbie Erlin bouncing back in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres, giving their offense a chance. Trailing by 1. Got to hold them here, Tim Stauffer. Last outing was back on the 15th against the Colorado Rockies.
Brandon Belt, first ball swinging, fouls it back. Belt, Arias, and Hicks scheduled here in the 9th. Looking ahead at the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Headley, Medica, and Hundley for the Padres. So the Giants, who had that record run of 1-run decisions 8 in a row until last night when the Padres got the insurance run late to make it a 3-1 game. And here they are in another 1-run contest.
Sergio Romo, their closer for the Giants, getting loose.
Change up, check swing, Belt. 2-1. On the inside corner. Romo, as he heats up, is not allowed to run his past 6 innings. Opponents are hitting 1 for 19 against Romo, so it'll be a tough test for San Diego if they're going to rally late. Way out of play.
Well, Pablo Sandoval did not get to start this afternoon for Bruce Bochy. He is on the bench if needed.
He could hit for either Arias or Hicks here in the top of the 9th. Left field, falling in a hurry, and Smith makes another shoestring catch. Oh, he has measured 2 plays perfectly out there. Belt looking out at Smith saying, come on now, I thought I had a base nut.
You know what? Even when Seth Smith was with the Rockies, we saw him in the division. We didn't really get a chance to see him that much. But I'll tell you what, folks, this guy he's doing a fantastic job with the glove in the outfield. He's picking up the pitching staff. He's diving, going to his right, going to his left, going back on balls. He's made some darn good plays in the outfield.
Yeah, we didn't see that kind of work when we played the Rockies.
Yeah.
He was in right field. I mean, look at his instincts are so terrific. He breaks at the crack of the bat. He's bold and charging that ball. He's made a couple of very good catches today. Arias 1-1.
He's our guy.
Seth Smith, and he's also been on base 3 times with a couple of walks, a single. He scored a run.
See this guy? He's our guy.
I thought Houston Street was.
He's our guy too. We need Tim Stauffer to throw a bagel here and win this one in walk-off fashion.
It's the corner. 2-2.
There's our guy right there. That's our guy.
Two and two. And the count full. Arias with Brandon Hicks scheduled next. Giants 4 runs on only 3 hits. One of them a 2-run homer by Buster Posey in the first inning.
Keep the ball away from him right here.
Third baseman Headley. And that's the second out here in the top of the 9th. Brings up Brandon Hicks. One of 3 Brandons in the starting lineup for Bruce Bochy. Brandon Belt, Brandon Hicks, Brandon Crawford. Change up 1-1.
That's some pitching right there, Tim Stauffer. First pitch fastball misses and he pulls the string in a fastball count.
And he breaks another changeup in there. 1-2.
See the grip, the changeup is actually kind of splits his fingers a little bit. It's not a true like fork ball where, you know, he wedges the baseball directly in between. It just kind of spreads his fingers a little bit. I guess you could call it a split finger grip. Acts like a changeup.
Giant fans competing with Padre fans. Let's go and insert your favorite team. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Hicks goes down. A 1-2-3 inning for Tim Stauffer. Last call for the Padres, 1 to tie, 2 to win against Sergio Romo. Throughout his career, Sergio Romo, 36 innings with an 0.50 ERA, going 6 for 6 in save chances against San Diego. Well, maybe this is the Padres' turn.
Yeah, and this year, Dick, 4 for 4 in those save chances. Not allowed to run in his past 6 outings. That's over 6 innings. 59 saves in his career. He throws a slider, fastball, changeup.
First up against Romo, Chase Headley. He had the big blow back in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded, knocked in 2 with his double, and almost Nady initially ruled safe. They'd have a tie game had that held up, but Bruce Bochy challenged, and on the review they overturned the call of plate umpire Mike DeMuro. Strike 1. Not overpowering.
Yeah.
His fastball is about 90 is
exactly
tops, right?
That's what he'll top out at, Dick. You're
that
absolutely
was
right.
only 87. But has pinpoint accuracy, Romo, and a wicked slider.
Kane on the left, Tim Hudson with the hat off there. and Madison Bumgarner on the right.
One and one. Shadows now growing from one of the towers on the third base side, interrupting the sunlight between the pitcher and batter. Outside.
Hey, he hasn't given that pitch all day, Mike DeMuro. That pitch was low, right?
That's correct.
He hasn't given that pitch all day. He has been consistent with that non-call.
Here it is, the pitch just at the knees.
Yep.
3 balls and a strike. Headley trying to start a 9th inning comeback. 4-3 Giants. Ball 4. He's aboard. The tying run on, and the winning run will come to the plate here in the 9th. Yasmani Grandal is going to hit for Medica. Grandal with a home run on Friday night, the insurance run for the Padres, and they needed it because Belt would homer in the 9th inning for the Giants in the 2-1 San Diego win. Ball 1.
No, Romo doesn't walk too many hitters. Last year in 60 1/3 innings pitched for the right-hander, he only walked 12. That was only the second walk issue this year in the early part of the season in 7 innings of work.
A pinch hit home run, a very productive statistic for the Padres the last couple of years. Best in the big leagues. He's had 4 pinch hit homers this year. Grandal one of them. So he knows the way. Outside. 2-0. Romo not razor sharp for the first 2 hitters. Grandal able to be selective here, pick out one. It's the best apple in the bushel barrel. One you really like to put a bite on. Oh my, did he have a nice cut at that one. Followed it straight back. He was on it.
Beautiful looking swing by Yasmani. It's the fastball. Just working underneath it a little bit. Hey, now he's got to pop the opposite way now too. Remember, Yasmani Grandal
yes, he does. With Carlos Quentin on the shelf, he's got the most power of any Padre to all fields. All the way to the screen. That'll move the tying run to second. Headley, and the count 3-1. Sounded as if that hit the glove of Posey.
Well, he was set up on one side of the plate. He had to reach around to the other side. No chance. Look where he's set up. Away to Grandal. Romo yanks this one. It looks like it hit the right leg of Mike DeMuro, the home plate umpire.
Ruled a wild pitch. So no one out. Tying run at second here in the bottom of the 9th. And a 3-1 count on the pinch hitter Grandal. Fouled away. Barely got a piece of that one. Changeup on 3-1. So the count full to Grandal. Nick Hundley with a home run back in the 7th inning is on deck. Saw fly ball back of second. Crawford out to get it. One away. Grandal unable to move that runner to third. So one out. Nick Hundley is the batter and would love to repeat this performance against Lincecum. The last time he was at the plate, hit that line drive. That got out of here in a hurry.
Hung him a changeup on the inner half of the plate, and Nick Hundley made him pay.
After Hundley, Yonder Alonso's in the on-deck circle. Weak wave, that slider.
Boy, how huge is that wild pitch? You know, get him into scoring position, taking the double play out.
Headley, the tying run at second. Check, no. So a couple of awkward swings by Hundley, and he's down 0-2. Fooled both those pitches, sliders from Romo. Nick 2 for 3, singled back in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, and the first home run of the year, belted in the 7th. Just nicked that one. Another slider.
And I don't think that's where Romo wanted that one, Dick. That one caught too much of the plate.
Play last year, Hundley hitting that ground ball to Scudero, and that brought in the winning run against Romo. See if Nick can muster up a big swing here. It didn't bite that time. Era of the fireballing relief pitcher, closer, throwing 95, 98 miles an hour, and you get a man like Romo, looks like an infielder out there throwing sliders. Not a very big guy, so effective. Check swing, foul ball.
A heavy dose of sliders away. Look at our Southland Technology Fox tracks. Everything is off the plate away. See the arm action and the ball out of the hand of Romo. He's got that side rotation. 84% of the time. The first career, Sergio Romo gets the save.
Headley still out there at second base, patiently waiting for someone to bring him home.
Good eye.
A little low as he offered another slider. 2-2. Rally caps are on. 4-3 Giants. High fly ball to left field. That's routine. Blanco there for the catch, and Headley returns to second. So it'll be Yonder Alonso introduced as the pinch hitter for Amaristo.
Dick, he got a hang here. He got a hanging breaking ball. Look at that. On contact, that ball's right down the middle. Nick just catches it off the end of the bat just a little bit too quick to that baseball.
So Yonder Alonso with 2 outs, and Headley still perched at second. Alonso last night a single in 3 trips. He lined out sharply as well. Alonso with 4 runs batted in, as you can see. Outside target. Fly ball to center. Pagan has room. And the Giants have won it 4-3, salvaging the final game of this 3-game series. Another 1-run decision. And our Carl's Jr. star of the game is Buster Posey. That 2-run home run way back in the first inning set the scene for the Giants, who only collected 3 hits in the game, but do walk away with a 1-run win. Mike Pomerantz, another good game, just a run shy.
That's the way it worked out today, but overall, nice homestand for the Padres as they head out of town now 6-4, and we'll talk about all